Welcome to our introduction of a belly fat challenge we're going to do uh, next week, starting 8:21 to 8:25 on Zoom. Uh, so many people are signing up, and it's a free complimentary challenge that we're going to do over 5 days. We'll be talking diet, exercise, relaxation, sleep, stress reduction, all things involved in ultimately ending up in our fat in the belly, which is a lot of problem for a lot of people. It's unsightly, they think, and then it's the image consciousness problem. And it does affect your health too. It reflects that you are having more calories than what you need, and then you are reserving them as the fat, and that fat is not good for you. And also, excuse me, and also that's an indication of possible visceral fat in your vital organs like liver or heart, and it can lead to back problems too. Excuse me. There's a tickle in my throat. So I'm kind of wanting to fulfill somebody's wish about this and really help them to understand the belly fat formation, belly fat varieties, and eating patterns and lack of exercise and stress reduction. All those things will be taken on an individual day, probably a couple of hours. We will discuss and we will ask people to develop their own custom plans. Directions for that will be given, and then we go from there. So this is going to be very plain, very simple routines that I'm going to show them. Some of the yoga routines that are pretty simple, how to stand properly, how to maintain your posture, how to do some forward and backward bends. Thereby, you will activate the abdominal muscles and then have a straight abdomen, that kind of thing. Also, how keeping the tone of the abdominal muscles kind of acts as a massage on your internal abdominal organs, and thereby you will be healthy in the long run. This is more like a exercise in learning some therapeutic lifestyles that you can follow later, and also not only get rid of the belly fat by accelerating your metabolism. That's the key component I'm going to discuss. I spend a lot of time on that. How the metabolism that is really um, slowed down by our lifestyles, and how it can be accelerated by reversing those and also cultivating lifestyles that are conducive for energy consumption and metabolism boosting. There are specific exercises in yoga. I'm going to show it to them on the Zoom, and so that they can learn and participate and then take home and practice there. So that is essentially what is planned, what people are going to learn from us, right? And from then we can show them other things of change in diet, improving their exercise capacity, and able to sleep better and revive the body, and also keeping the mind calm so that they don't generate stress that can produce this problem. Okay, that is what I wanted to announce today and make sure that people are following it. And I don't know whether the clubhouse thing is working and people are able to listen to me. There's some problem with this clubhouse mic. Um, Apart from that, we were talking a lot of things today in the morning sessions of Rocky's room today. I was talking about fasting because people specifically requested about fasting. So we talked about the fat diets and the number of ways that people fast, and also how you can cultivate a healthy fasting and incorporate into your daily life. For me, I don't do fasting because I'm not overweight. I kind of maintain the same weight for the last 10, 15 years. Um, and my principles are very simple, close to the nature. And I want to preserve the diurnal rhythms which we have in our body. Every 12 hours, things change, right? So we have to eat when we are really hungry. So my principle is first develop a very, very big appetite and don't eat right away. If you have no hunger, don't eat. If you have mild hunger, don't eat. But if you have severe hunger, then eat it. Then also take your time, chew your food, and swallow it. All these are good eating habits, right? You got to eat in silence also. That's a good habit too. So I cultivate these habits so that thereby I don't have to deliberately do a separate fasting session because I am fasting while not eating things, right? So that helps the people a lot. So that kind of uh, Amanda is here too. Okay, Amanda, come up. I'll invite her. She's first time here. Uh, so that is the essence of the belly fat. Is we are kind of doing it as education of the lifestyles that led to this kind of fat. There is genetics involved, there are familiar things involved, there are your lifestyles involved. Once you understand those lifestyles, and it's not going to make a rapid difference right away. So you got to adopt them over time, slowly, uh, and then whatever changes that you make them small so the system can put up with it, and not hurting. So you want to do nicely, slowly, pleasantly, so that you are not violent to your body, mind, right? That's the principle. So understanding what is the belly fat, what are the varieties of belly fat, how we can have a control over them is the first day. The second day, we will dedicate to the what are we going to do with the diet. Somebody asked me today a question: what kind of diet will melt the uh, belly fat? That's the erroneous approach because you can eat something and then that will help you to melt away right away. So one single food you have to mention that will be cinnamon. Cinnamon boiled in water, taking like a tea, or spreading over the cinnamon powder on the diet. Those kinds of things work, but they work later, not like a right away. But what you can understand is because you are eating excess food, or you are trying to eat it when you are not hungry because it's a pleasure, it is social, whatever it is, then that excess food gets converted into fat and gets storage, right? And on the top of it, if you are uh, having a poor posture and you are having a sagging abdomen, that will exacerbate it. So all the reasons that are contributing to the belly fat, you got to understand. That will take some time, and then it will take more time to bring those changes into your life, which is okay because this is not like a immediate change. I know we are in the instant gratification era. That's why everything looks very difficult for people. But if you adopt these lifestyle changes, understand them, and be aware of them even after the challenge has ended, and over the time, you do the stretches I'm going to show you, you do the breathing that I'm going to show you, you kind of rest the way I will show you, and then not allow yourself to be stressed out by every small thing, then you will make it. But modern life is plenty of opportunities for us to stress out, right? So I don't blame you, but I will help you to understand that and then get overcome. So this is a program. It's not going to be just those 5 days, but maybe another 3 months if you do that. All those things every day, incorporate them into your daily lifestyle. I have a penchant for showing people opportunities to exercise while they are working. That means walk to the building, park the car away, take the stairs, walk in the corridors, stand up and do the meetings, and then do the office yoga, which I'm going to show you. That kind of things that you are moving the body all through the day, and also you are keeping the mind quiet. See, the one way to do that is focus on whatever you are doing and then keep the um, other thoughts away. How you can do that is just observe them, let them go. Then you don't have to fight with them or you don't have to indulge in them. That's a long term process again. But that is a good way to keep your mind not agitated all the time. So you are reacting to everything that's going on, that gives you stress. So all these things we discuss in detail, and also we discuss individual circumstances if anybody wants to have an insight into their own individual situation. We will do it in a friendly, camaraderie atmosphere so that people will feel like they're not getting punished, but they're trying to learn something new that they will be happy to implement. So if you make them partners in their own care, if you make them really self-conscious about what was going on, what they did not pay attention, that has escaped into their diet and also their patterns of diet eating and all that, right? So all these things you need to point out, not like they are doing a criminal thing or more like a bad thing. It's more like a innocently avoiding or omitting these things, right? So once you have that, you will be very good. Okay, so you be careful with too much change too fast. That is kind of really bad. I never believed in that. I never forced my patients to do something radical unless there's a life-threatening situation, which is rare. For example, a smoker comes to me and wants to quit. I might have seen him a number of times before, and I know his history of smoking, which is we take into history and we know they are doing it all, and we have to tell them to, all the bad effects of smoking and all that, right? I was doing before this has become a fashionable thing because I never smoked and then I knew smoking is bad instinctively, right? But later on, we got a lot of data on people developing cancer, people developing difficult problems. COPD, chronic obstructive lung disease, is one of the commonest things that we see in the hospitals. And these people cannot breathe and they come. And what they do, they kind of get tubed. They have to be on the ventilator to assist their breathing, right? So we kind of show them whenever they come for an infection, pneumonia, bronchitis. I usually take an X-ray, right, to see the severity of disease. And lots of times you can see the signs of this bad lung disease in their X-ray. Their domes are elevated and their diaphragms are pushed down, and then they expand the chest like a barrel. We call it a barrel-shaped chest. When I show them, they usually get shocked because their smoking is causing all this. Lung is trying to compensate by expanding, right? But then the absorption of oxygen into the lungs that goes down because smoking affects the alveolar lines. That's the inner layer of the lungs, right? That's where the gases are exchanged. Carbon dioxide comes out and oxygen goes in. There is a barrier, and you have less oxygen going into that. Okay. That kind of thing I have pointed out to them. Then once they are ready, what we do is what is called motivational interviewing. That means patient makes the decision of how much cigarettes he can stop on a day or a weekly or monthly or yearly basis, right? So we give them the choice so that he's smoking a pack a day, then he may come down to half a pack after a month. That's the goal he has. Then we actively encourage them to keep up with the goal and then give them a routine that he could follow and also help them if he falls off the wagon, right? And we always leave a suggestion, you can call us anytime if you need some help. Most of the time, they don't call every day. Most of the time, they call when they really need us. Suppose they're having shortness of breath. Suppose they have congestion in the chest. Suppose they have a lot of phlegm coming out. All those things. Then they will call us. But just because they have uh, stopped smoking, they don't call us right away, or they just are suffering because of the stop smoking, they may call us too. Anyway, having that access to me all time, even though they don't abuse it, that kind of acts a very powerful psychological stimuli for them, right? So they come and then they listen. So that's the same thing with obese people or belly fat people that I treat. Well, I kind of let them determine the goals that they can implement painlessly, but on the march of doing it. The important thing is, whatever the changes they have made by themselves gives them real psychological boost that I can do it. I have done that. I have stayed away from two cigarettes today. That is very important for them. So to induce that psychological encouragement by their own actions is a key part of my treatment. Then lots of people quit. I'm very proud of all the achievements I have in the medical field. I'm very proud of the number of people I was able to make them stop smoking, and that's a very good thing because first of all, cancer chances go down, and second of all, the chronic obstructive lung disease where they fight for breath, that's also reduced. Then what happens is they don't suffer in the old age. What usually happens is people who don't stop smoking, they will be having this difficulty breathing all the way to their death. They are aware of it, they are fighting for oxygen, and they're having a miserable lifestyle till they die. But they are aware of it, they know about it. That's the problem. They are not like Alzheimer's and all that. So, that kind of suffering, when we saw, we want to improve their quality of life. I will encourage, I will give them some cues about what is happening to their lungs by showing the x-rays and all that, but I make them decision by themselves. Make it by yourself. Whatever you can stop, and just make a. Even if you fail that target, just drop on the positive things that you have done so thus far. Maybe you have stopped only 4 cigarettes a day. That itself is an achievement. So I want to celebrate the whatever small achievements that I have, and then encourage them for further. Instead of drawing upon what they failed, build up upon the gains that they made, even the small one. And when we they hear from us, and then we tell them that's not enough. You still have to march. You still have to continue to do that. And they get that message, and that they usually do. That's how I was able to do it. With belly fat also, what we're going to do is, first of all, understand, am I eating too much, or am I eating foods that are not good? Am I getting into the habits because my family was cooking good stuff and I'm eating it? I got used to it. Now the taste does allow me to stay away from them. But these are very fatty, a lot of oil, a lot of salt, a lot of tasty foods that are going to be eaten even when you're hungry or not, because they're pleasurable, right? And then you eat a lot, you don't metabolize it, and then you accumulate as fat. That fat also comes into the abdomen, mainly because we are upright walking, right? If you don't have a tight belt, you don't have worked on the core muscle tight enough, then that sags. And with the women, that sags much more because the women have the pregnancies and all those things, right? So a lot of women fall for that because after the baby, if you tone up the muscles, that's much easier to do. Anyway, those are the things that we are planning to do in the belly fat challenge, and I hope people will show up and then will be able to sign up. Let me go and bring that sign up page and I'll post it here. There you go. There is that link in Clubhouse, and people can sign up if they want to. Whoever comes in and goes out of the room, it will be there. That way, you get a link to the Zoom, and I can send you to your email address, and then you can click on the Zoom link and come. And please don't share that link, even though this is a free thing. We are trying to protect ourselves from the trolleys that happened a couple of times. In 2 years, it happened only twice, but still, I like to not to post the Zoom link publicly, but more like do this. So this is a good thing. Let me invite my friend Sanya. She was not able to join the other day because of the troubles with the clubhouse glitches. You know, she is not. Hi, Sanya. Hopefully she can talk today because that is the microphone giving her problems. You know.
Hi, Sonia.
I think she was having mic issues the other day. She wanted to join, but she could not hear something. You know? Anyway, so lot of times this fat causes a lot of problems for people. They have to change their sizes of dresses, whatever they are wearing, and the pants, and also they don't support it properly. Sometimes that becomes worse, and then it acts on your back. That is the major problem I saw. Many people, because they don't take care of it for long years, and later on it becomes so tough, they cannot do those exercises and all that. That is where the simple stretches of yoga can act on that particular muscles and particular area of the fat, and then they can help you to tone it up, and then to really help you to at least reduce the protrusion, the prongness that you develop. And later on, once you change your diet, increase your exercise, and also learn the ways of how to boost your metabolism, either by taking some drugs or some herbs, or by just if it is really stubborn, some people go for liposuction too. I don't advise that; it's too drastic for me. But some people do it, and then I've seen complications from it, side effects from it. So, but some people, that like a film stars or somebody's career is dependent upon how they appear. Those kind of people really go for it. Hi Nazli, how are you? Sanya, can you hear us? I think she's not able to hear. There's a problem with her microphone.
The smoke wildfire running for that good it seems.
Yeah.
Colombia, wildfire.
Yeah. So something happening in Canada with all the wildfires and smoke and all that. We were seeing it on the TV this morning and the news also. A lot of people are suffering that way. So I think I gave you enough information about the belly fat challenge that's coming up. More details on each day because we're dedicating 5 days for it. Each day, 2 hours, right? So it's altogether 10 hours fat challenge. And then I encourage people whoever sign up, bring their personal struggles, personal successes, personal preferences, or exercise, whatever they do, that kind of contribution will be very much appreciated. And also learn and understand that I'm going to present, and take the insights and go and implement in your life. Then feed me back and see how they are going. So if they are doing something wrong and you don't really enjoy that, then let me know too. It all depends on the feedback, whatever it is. Okay. I had a very busy day today, from morning till now, but I didn't want to break my habit here. That's why I came up and. Sanya, can you hear us? I don't think she can hear us.
Only message will come down if you response.
Yeah, maybe she's not. Sorry, still no volume, she says. Yeah, that's what you. So something happening to her. She is not able to hear, or she has no volume, she said. All right, that's all for today then. Half an hour just to keep track of what's going on. I'll see you back again tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, actually, 7 o'clock, I have this online satsang for meaningful inner transformation. This is going to be a weekly affair in the morning, 7 o'clock my time, that is 8 o'clock Eastern time. And I'm going to have select few people there who are interested in this deeper spiritual matters, and we'll be doing them in a systematic way. I just hired a VA, so she will be assisting to me for the next one. But tomorrow is going to be introductory. I'm going to tell them what I plan to do. Probably I'll open both on Clubhouse and also on the Zoom. Okay, the Zoom for the people who want to come there, and then we will discuss all those things there. Okay, then with that, I will take leave and I will see you back again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye. Close the room.
సానియాకి మెసేజ్ పంపించాను అక్కడ అంతా చాలా వామ్గా ఉంది.